Now for Global Business Updates, Rotus Oddiri joins us. Good morning, Rotus.
Good morning, Dr. Basi. Good morning, Ayo. Good morning, Rufai. Happy to all our viewers out there. We begin with the what I knew was going to be pretty testy, Stephen Miran. Donald Trump's pick to replace Adriana Kugler at the Federal Reserve. He faced the U.S. Senate Banking Committee. There were lots of questions about how he feels about Federal Reserve independence. And there was one particular exchange on the Bureau of Labor Statistics, because we're getting those non-farm payrolls numbers later today. And the entire world is going to be looking at those numbers. So here is a very testy exchange between Senator Elizabeth Warren of Massachusetts, who is on the committee, and Stephen Miran.
Let's try another. Let me ask you another question here. The Federal Reserve relies on accurate and unbiased data to make monetary policy, including data produced by the Bureau of Labor Statistics. President Trump recently fired the BLS commissioner, alleging that she, quote, faked the jobs numbers before the election to try and boost Kamala's chances of victory. Do you agree with President Trump that the BLS published fake numbers to manipulate the outcome of the 2024 presidential election?
Thank you for the question, Ranking Member Warren. Look, the data quality from the Bureau of Labor
Statistics... That's not the question about the data quality. Did, as President Trump said, the BLS publish fake numbers to manipulate the outcome of the 2024 presidential election? This is what President Trump said. Is he right? You're the head of the Council of Economic Advisors.
The Bureau of Labor Statistics data on various measures has deteriorated steadily in quality over time.
I understand that you may have questions about the data quality, but I want to remind you that when the data seemed to show that Donald Trump's jobs numbers were doing well, I didn't hear you say a single word about problems with data quality. The only time you started questioning data quality was when the numbers started showing that Trump's economy was headed in the wrong direction. So let me ask you the question for the third time. We want to understand your independence. Donald Trump stated that the BLS faked the job numbers before the election to try and boost Kamala's chances of victory. Do you agree with that, yes or no?
The Bureau of Labor Statistics did not take corrective action to improve the quality of steadily deteriorating data.
Do you agree with the statement that they faked numbers?
I believe that they were complacently allowing the data to continue.
Do you have any evidence that they faked numbers?
Well, as I said moments ago, the data have steadily deteriorated in quality, and I'm happy
to give
in other words,
just two straightforward questions about your independence, and you've blown both of them.
It didn't get better for him, but the numbers are coming out about 1 p.m. Eastern time. So remember, it was 73,000 jobs created in August. The downward revision for the prior 2 months was 258,000. So everybody from U.S. markets, Europe, everyone is, because if these numbers are worse, then that means that the labor market is in trouble in the U.S. and the Fed is probably going to have to step in. There's going to be all kinds of questions. So everybody will all wait to see what those numbers are when they are released. Next up, I think you have to. I don't know if you fashion news. Armani, of course, passing away at 91. Giorgio. Do you know he was the only shareholder of his company? I mean, he held his company tightly to his. So it's just 1.2 billion net worth, and look, I think he was the one that pioneered.
There was the other guy that died in the 80s. I think.
Yeah, but he assumed he held on to everything.
He held on the shares. So but there were two co-founders.
I think he pioneered the whole using of red carpets to showcase, fashion. So big Italian giants passing away there. I think we're still in Europe now. The Lisbon crash. I think Adefemi brought this up yesterday. It is now talk of how safety in Portugal could actually impact tourism. Portugal has an estimated 10 million residents. 19 million foreign visitors visited Portugal in 2024. I mean, that's almost double their population. Shout out to Jerome, he's a very talented producer that we work with. He lives in Porto. Yeah. Talks to me about how nice it is over there. They are 7th or 6th most safest country in the world. So tourism is huge for GDP. This is João Duque. He's the dean professor at the University of Lisbon School of Economics and Management. Said accidents happen everywhere, but this is unprecedented and raises serious safety concerns for tourists. It calls into question Portugal's image as a safe haven for visitors. The three of you all the time talk about, insecurity and how that impacts tourism around the world. I think we then go on to Nigeria. The GTEx has wrapped up. There was a lot of talk about artificial intelligence and particularly demand for data centers. MTN and Airtel are both committing to spend about $400 million on data centers in Nigeria. MTN says that between, what was the number, 600 million to 850 was spent on cloud services in Nigeria in 2024. There are also smaller players though. While MTN and Airtel want to build their own infrastructure and own it and charge in Naira, you've got other players like Nobus and Layer 3 that are leveraging on other platforms in order to provide that service. So the data center conversation is one that continues to grow in Nigeria. And interestingly, the head of, I think it's business services at MTN Nigeria, Linda St. Nwafo, said, there's a difference, I like this quote, it was Tech Cabal picked this up. She says, there's a difference between charging in Naira and being priced in Naira, which is very intuitive in terms of the cost. But again, the currency is stable, so at least that should mitigate that going forward. But data centers need a lot of electricity, need a lot of water, they need to be cooled, but it's part of the conversation. That's our update.
Okay, thank you very much, Rotus. Unfortunately, we still
out
not
of time, man.
no time
Rest. The weekend is here.
to discuss some of those issues anyway.
But Monday, we'll go by the job numbers when they come out. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Hey, wow.
Well, weak employment data, less than 75,000 that the Dow Jones was expecting.